Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the public statement. This board features good old-fashioned traditional camber, so from contact point to contact point you have that arc of traditional camber. That's going to give you the load, pop, snap, and drive out of this board. This board is available in 150, 154, and 157. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day with a mix of sunny skies with clouds, with warmer temps. You had chop, chunder, slush, and perfect corduroy, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This board has a predictable middle-of-the-road park flex. From tip to tail it just feels consistently smooth, and you do have a little bit of torsional flex, but nothing super crazy in there. For the most part, this board is actually surprisingly stable. You do get a little chatter out in the tips. You'll feel that slightly resonate underfoot, but in more rutted out terrain, this board actually stays on top of everything, or if it's like softer snow, it just pushes right through it. So this board does have some solid snap. You do have carbon strips in the tip and the tail, so that way when you load the camber up and roll back and then disengage it to pop, they activate and you get that spring out of it. Now this is a board you can launch side hits, rollers, cat track gaps, using fat skiers as launch ramps. It doesn't matter, you're going to be able to pop with it. When it comes to jumps, small to medium, it really excels. You can probably handle larger stuff with it, but just due to the flex, understand you want to land a little more bolts or it's going to wash out. Overall, it pops off the lip consistently. You never have to worry about it. It gets you in the air and it does what it needs to do. When you press into the nose or the tail of this board, there's a ton of rebound from that carbon in there, so you need to get your weight out towards the contact point and really leverage it. You're going to kind of have to slightly muscle it to push it. It does lock in and hold, but it's going to be one of those boards that wants to spring you right back out. Now when it comes to jibbing, a little speed is the key with this. The sweet spot is easy to engage and lock in, but like I said, you've got that carbon in the tip and the tail, so it's going to want to pop out. So when you're locked into a nose or a tail press, when you hit the end of the feature, expect to get a little rebound with a simple disengagement, and you're going to be able to pop over it. When you go sideways, this board slightly cradles around the feature. It doesn't clap out, it just lets you know it's locked in, it's going to slide, you're not going to have any problems with it. It's basically more like a high-end jib board in my opinion. It's not the most aggressive side cut, but this board will turn. There are limitations with it. When you fully lay it over and you're driving your knee into the center of that camber and trying to push off the tail, you're not going to get a deep, hard Euro carve. It's more in tune with those medium mellow carves and quick setup turns. It does have a snappy edge-to-edge power transmission. You'll notice that right away, that it's very easy and smooth, but you get a little bit of power out of it. Who's this board for? The all-around park guy that wants a little camber. So this board actually rode a little stiffer than what the catalog said it would be, and I think that has to do in part just to the core profiling and the carbon in the tips. It gives it a more consistent, stable ride in my opinion, and better snap. Like this board has some really solid snap, due in part partially because of the camber, partially because of the carbon and the tip and the tail. This is a board that like you get on right away and you're like, oh wow, it's got snap, it's got response, and as it breaks in, it's going to just have that familiarity to it where you're still going to get solid pop and you're going to be able to just ride anything in the park with it. It's a good board, it's just not the right board for me. Also, one thing to note, these edges come super sharp out of the wrapper. I actually chopped the tip of my finger off with them, so I normally don't detune. I would strongly recommend detuning with these. Comparable boards: the Yes Jackpot, the Battalion Evil Twin, the Rome Agent. Binding recommendations: the Battalion Astro, the Ride C6, the Now Brigade. This has been my review of the public statement. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.